How's it going? How's it going? CNN fam, Anthony back. Okay, last time I know I left off at an interesting part, so this is part two. It's gonna continue. If you didn't see the last video, go ahead, check it out. It's the first video that's up. It's episode 1. So this is the continuance, which is episode 2, and we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. Okay. So we left off. The light turned green. So at this part, the light had turned green, and just know that it had rained that night. So the streets were wet, and they both took off. They started, drag racing, and at this point, that's when, back in 2013, on the streets that I said that we were going towards, it was exactly Durango and Desert Inn. There was 2 big old bumps. They're not like speed bumps. They're just like dips inside the street that they hadn't fixed at that time. But they went through those bumps, and right when both of them went through those bumps, both of them lost control. So they both ended up going their separate ways. And next thing that I know, I heard that my cousin got caught like at 96, and I don't know her speed, but she ended up crashing into an electricity pole. And from there, my brother stated that he found her and that he saw her car. So he ended up going to her aid. He ended up checking her out, and she had blood all over her face. She got a concussion. So from there, he said he ended up pulling her out, carried her onto the grass until an ambulance came. And then he told me that at that point, there were some teenagers on the scene, and he said that those teenagers told him like, "Hey, yo, there's another car over there." And he was like, "What? For real?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're over there." And then he looks, and then his heart dropped, because when he looked straight ahead, he saw it was my cousin's car. And at that point, his heart dropped, and he's like, "Oh man." So he ended up going. He rushed over there. When he gets to the scene, he sees my cousin, same condition as the girl. His face is all bleeding, and he ends up just acting quick. It's a quick reaction. So he ends up going and grabbing him. My cousin was light, so he grabs him, pulls him off onto the grass. And then he said that when he ended up looking for me, that I was no longer in the car. And just know, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, which was a blessing, because if you already saw the pictures of the car, that seat was turned all the way to the side, which pretty much lets me know that if I was strapped onto that seatbelt, I would have not been able to get out, and it would have probably broke all my bones, or who knows if I would have been alive. But from there, he said he looked, I wasn't there, and then he said that he looks to the side of the car, and at that point he sees me. I'm like legs in the car still, and then my body's out. And he stated to me that when he saw me, that he went to go, to go see how it was. I was out. At that point, he told me that this scar that I have right here, bones popped out right there. And he said that there was 3 bones sticking out. And he said his first reaction was like, he wanted to kind of push him back in, but he said that he just ignored it. He's all like, nah, as much as he felt like pushing them back in, he didn't do that. And from there, he said that he heard sirens. And when he heard the sirens, the ambulance was on the way. And he told me that from there that the teenagers heard the siren, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go because we've been drinking and we don't want to get in trouble, and we're out of here." And he was just like, "Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it for your guys' help." And at that point, they ended up taking off, which if those teenagers end up seeing this video, thank you so much, because you helped my brother drag me onto the grass. Because for the ones that don't know, at that time I was 305 pounds. Yeah, I was benching probably around 320, but the thing is that I was big too. I was fat, and that's why I was so big. And my brother couldn't pull me. That was so heavy, he couldn't pull me. At this time, my brother only weighed probably 190, 185, because he was in wrestling and everything, and he couldn't carry me by himself. So he ended up pulling me into the grassy area with the teenagers. They ended up taking off. The ambulance get there. They ended up doing what they had to do to get us onto the stretcher, get us into the ambulance, and they started driving towards UMC, which is University Medical. I can't figure out the C, but you guys get the gist. UMC, there's a picture right there. They take me over there, and they're transporting me and my cousin there. And over time, I heard that my cousin was the one that ended up dying once in the ambulance, and they revived him. And once later on, when he was in the hospital, he ended up dying again, but they revived him again. So if that's not a miracle, I don't know what is. But at this point, that's when they transported us to the ICU at UMC. And that is when both of us we were both in coma. We were out, we were unresponsive, not in the head, we were out of it. And at this point, this is when you're gonna have to wait till the next video, because the coma experiences are crazy and it gets more interesting. Apologize for that, it's so annoying, but it is really interesting. And I just want to say that I was gonna do the video inside like last time, but I said this is nice weather, and for the ones that live in Las Vegas, Nevada, you know that we don't get cloudy weather that often. We're always around that hot sun, you know, but as the fall's coming in, the weather is beautiful and you gotta enjoy it. So I said, let's make the video outside. But yeah, stay up with the next video, and the coma experiences are the more interesting part, because you won't believe what happened in those moments. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you, everybody. God bless, and enjoy the rest of your day.